welcome back to Kingsport, 1851, episode 4 of part 1, wherein the ship will finally get near the Pacific, and we will have a grand finale, I think. I am joined, as always, by a fantastic cast, but first let's talk to my partner in crime and longtime associate, and I don't know, half the creative interest of this here outfit, Serafina.
Hello, I am Serafina. I am playing she, her. I am playing Captain Charlotte Goodwin, the captain and the believer. And when we last saw our captain, she was, looking so recklessly for the sublime edge of reason that she kind of attempted suicide by lightning bolt. So it's sort of fine. She's doing okay. She's great. She's great.
I mean, to be fair, we don't know that it would have been suicide.
We don't, but she doesn't know that it wasn't.
That is totally fair. Next up, someone I am again very happy to have at my table, Eli, who's playing Carlito the Harpooner.
So, yeah, my name's Eli, he, him. Last time we saw Carlito was actually way back in episode 2 at the wedding of Sea and Land. I killed a shark and then helped kill a whale, so that was cool.
Well, I mean, it's very fishy kind of thing. Cool. So next up, we're having Alejandro, who's playing Oren, our merchant.
Oren has apparently been ill since the ship launched. He is funding this expedition and is finally coming out aboard topside to see, hearing that we're landing on Montevideo.
Excellent. And finally, Agatha, who is playing our surgeon, Olivia.
Yeah, Olivia is deeply committed to converting anyone that she can to the embrace of the sea. And so far has succeeded with getting.
Cool. You were a little garbled there, Agatha, so I know that's an ongoing thing.
Yes, I think I'm better now, maybe?
Yes, you are better now.
Great.
We're all better now.
Yay. Yeah.
We actually started the game. There was light outside my window. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So yes, when last we left off, the good ship Tethys had finally broken out of the equatorial doldrums, thanks to a not at all mysterious storm that came out of nowhere as soon as people started doing black magic. And they left behind them the poor ship Era, which foundered with a crew that was half dead of plague anyway. So where I'd like to pick up, I think, today is with the ship at dock at Montevideo in Uruguay, down in South America. That whole area was a popular docking port, and let's just say the ship got a little banged up in that tremendous black magic storm that was not at all suspicious or dangerous. So cool. Yeah. How do we want to start this here? So you're in Montevideo. It's a capital of a republic. It's an old colonial town. And we've got some intrigue going on. We have deep ones doing stuff. Yeah, Carlito, why don't we start with you, I think, because your character is, in fact, South American.
Yep, Carlito is South American. Yeah. I don't think he realized that we were coming back to this part of the world, so he's a little worried about this. Yeah.
I mean, totally fair, because like you are an outcast, right?
Yep. Yep.
It's cool. So, what are you doing to dodge the shore patrol?
I'm definitely wearing like something with a hood, like a coat with a hood, and I'm just trying to be as low key as possible.
Fantastic. Okay. So, Oren, who are you meeting with in Montevideo that is of your kin?
There is a family that has been there for a very, very long time. And I'm meeting with the head of that family. So they were one of, like, their family is one of the original um, uh, settlers, uh, Spanish settlers. Yeah.
Criollo aristocracy. Cool. Or well, so yeah. What is it with your kin? Do they tend to make a big splash when in their societies, or do they try and stay more to the shadows?
Um, they they try to infiltrate and manipulate.
So being a big deal would be expected.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So that seems good to me. I think the thing then to do is to have a scene maybe with you and the captain having dinner at the mansion of your kin, maybe the bishop and several other important officials of the government.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who were the old ones that were on the ship?
Isaac and Esau are their names.
And I mean, like, do I know that they are old ones?
I'm gonna assume that you're spooky, so I don't think they know about you because your kind seems to be way more esoteric and hidden.
Yeah.
I mean, also they're pretty obvious. They're beginning to make the change. So.
Okay.
Cool. So let's have a name for your kin. Oh, what's a good aristocratic name for this period? Maybe
Oh, so are we not of the same? Because I remember I put you as my kin, right?
Yes, my family. We are linked, but I am something else that nobody's aware of.
Okay.
I'm a different type of creature. But I have, like, infiltrated your family. So.
Okay. I sure. I'm a little bit thrown because like Olivia's conception of kin is very much tied to her family of the Pimbletons, and so I'm trying to like work this in, like how is it?
So perhaps
there's also a mystical connection to it as well, like.
Yeah, so perhaps I'm married into the family.
Ah.
And because my name's Aberton, so it's not. So I'm married into the family.
Okay.
And my wife probably got sick early on, and you helped treat her, but you couldn't help her. So she ultimately was given to the waves, I suppose.
Interesting. Okay, so you are my kin to others. So I would always defend you against others, but I don't necessarily see you as my like as close. Maybe.
Makes sense.
Okay. I don't know what that means as far as Olivia goes, because she doesn't seem to see anybody as close, you know, because she's so like rigid, you know.
Well, that's because she only has a few kin. So like her kin she reacts to differently, but y'all haven't had a chance to really build that.
Mm.
Well, I have a feeling because she treated my wife before she passed on, that's where our bond developed. But I don't know. I don't know if
Okay.
you want to go that way.
That's fine. That could work.
Does that work? We don't have to do that.
No, I think that works. That's fair.
Okay, cool. So let's just do this quick because I do not have time to think of both family names. Don Jose Francisco. Sounds good?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So Don Jose Francisco lives on the outskirts of the city near his large ranch, where he has many happy people who work for him, according to him. And he certainly runs a great table, invites the bishop. I don't know if Montevideo is an archbishopric, but it's bishop. And yeah, so he invites you, Cap.
Great.
Yeah, this won't be uncomfortable for you at all.
You know, it's fine.
So, yeah. So Don Francisco, I'm going to assume, especially to you, has that air of a certain condescension that only a true aristocrat can gin up with no problems. So tell me.
And I'm just going to say, a true aristocrat here. I mean, in Uruguay, I mean, the wealthy are definitely better than the not wealthy. Like,
oh yeah,
it is like all the aristocracy sees themselves as royalty.
Well, of course, he's completely, his family is totally peninsulares on both sides, and he's definitely bourbon straight through. Yeah. So he just sort of leans over snidely at one point and says, "So tell me, Captain." He's been having trouble saying that all night to your face.
Mm-hmm.
How is the whale as a dish? Here we raise some of the finest cattle in all the world, but it seems to me that if you hunt these creatures, you must know what they taste like.
She, I think, has officially had enough. And she leans back in her seat and says, "Well, the whale is a very fatty animal, much like the aristocrat. And it tastes as rich as I imagine the aristocracy would."
So you've tasted this. The aristocracy does taste fabulous. Let me assure you.
Do you say that?
And I'm not lying, but
yeah. I nod across the table to you over my wine and I say, "See, my good friend understands."
Well, certainly in the war to secure our country's independence, there were a few times one of our armies fell upon hard times in the Andes, but as far as I know, none of us ate anybody in my side of the family, at least not any aristocrats. And now he laughs and the archbishop snorts into his wine.
She does not laugh. She lifts her wine up to her lips and just takes a long sip and stares him in the face.
They want to know about your family a little bit, because they've never met anybody from New England like this. Oh yeah, tell us, Captain, you must come from some proud line to have secured such a position.
Well, when you say proud, my father was a drunk, but an officer. So he was, of course, forgiven of any sin. My mother was of the landed gentry back in Ireland. And so when they came to this country, they had much to say for themselves.
Wow. On that note, my dear Captain, I believe it is time for us to separate for a moment. I'm sure you would not mind joining my charming wife in the other room while I discuss matters of politics with the gentleman.
She like looks at is the wife the only woman there?
No, there are other wives.
It's an evenly spaced table. I say, of course, leave me with your women.
He lets that sail right over his head.
She like takes a decanter of wine off the table as she walks out of the room with the ladies.
So as soon as you leave, a couple of the lesser ranking people start playing cards with each other, but the bishop and Don Jose Francisco take you aside, Oren, and Don Jose says, "The bishop is not one of us, but I assure you, he is in agreement with our interests."
Good. Good. Um, there is aboard the ship. There are two. What are they called? Deep ones.
The people of the waves, yes.
And I have decent control over the lass. And he gestures towards the captain, where she disappeared to. But these deep ones, I fear, are working something that we need to address them. They need to not return. When we disembark, they need to stay here.
Oh, of course. Our people are of a different sort and a higher order than the people of the waves, but nevertheless, one should never underestimate their power, especially when they talk to the outer ones and the great beings. It seems to me that we must not allow the ship to continue its mission, or at least ensure that we are in control of it.
Yes. I almost had success in that regard with the captain, but my plans faltered. We need to remove this obstacle, and then I believe that the captain can be controlled.
You've picked up a refugee, this young boy, Neb. His family are witches from New Orleans. This may bear some watching that could be useful. And you should have no trouble controlling the captain. She's exactly the kind of strong-willed that is easily bendable to our needs. Just let her think she's in control. Like you always have.
Yes, sir.
This will be as great a day for us as the plague years were in Prague in 1421. Good days. Good days. Excellent. So, I think I want to see Olivia and Carlito, maybe. Or certainly Olivia and Eileen. And then maybe Carlito, or maybe a very frustrated captain having decided to just leave the house and say, screw this, and come on back to the ship. But we'll see how this goes. But yeah, so Olivia, what are you doing docked up in the charming colonial city of Montevideo?
Perhaps I am going to buy things, maybe? I don't know. Restocking on bandages.
That definitely could work. Cool. Here's a question. Do you speak Spanish?
I do not. Well, no, I do not.
Carlito, you speak Portuguese for sure. You also speak Spanish?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Excellent. So that explains that.
Yep.
Awesome. So you're not by any means the only sailor leading around someone, though. Many people are impressed to see such a elegant-looking woman as Olivia walking with you, and then slightly freaked out when Ali turns his dead blank eyes on them, and a chill sweeps through their soul.
Yeah. So I wasn't there when Elif fell overboard and whatnot, but I like to picture that before that point, I was trying to be friends with Ali, and
Oh,
now
no.
he's different, and I feel weird about that.
Also,
Yeah.
Ali and I are constantly holding hands.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah. So yeah, I'm picturing this moment where he looks at people and they are weirded out and like, so I turned to the both of you. I was like, so oh yeah, how would Carlito address you? Miss Pembleton, Dr. Pembleton?
I don't think I'm a doctor, so I would say Miss Pembleton, probably.
Okay. Miss Pembleton, are you sure that the boy is all right after what's happened to him?
Yes.
He seems a bit different, don't you think?
Ali, you are changed, are you not?
Of course.
Then it would make sense that his demeanor would change.
Oh, okay.
I've been embraced, Carlito. Perhaps you should be too.
Indeed.
I'm not sure what that means, and I'm not sure I want to know.
Well,
Do
you
tell
can-
me. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You do the creepy even better than me.
I wasn't going to be creepy. Do tell me, what is the going price for bandages that this man is saying?
Is he and to Catherine, is he giving an honest answer, like the vendor?
He's giving you the price for foreign sailors in his town. So
Right. Yeah. Well, because we're not from here, he is kind of jacking the price a little bit. So we can try to get him to lower it, but
Yes, that would be most agreeable.
So it seems to me, Carlito, that in doing all this, you are in the public eye and trying to hide your sin.
yeah, I would say that is true. Yeah.
Our old friend Dooley Wise Kitten is available for your perusal.
Yep. So I can't remember what I used to roll on that. It's probably balance.
It is balance.
Yeah, which I think I have like a 0 or a minus in. Yeah, -1. That's cool. And 6. Yep, that's a 6.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Mhm.
That is fantastic. So I get to make this worse somehow, huh? Okay, cool. So as you're selling, as you're negotiating the guy down, you happen to glance across the square, And standing there is the old witch you ran into in the jungle back in in the forest back in Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, of course she's there.
Yeah. And she's doing one of those to you.
So I turn to Olivia and I'm like, I'll be back in a moment.
A friend of yours?
Friend might be a little bit of a strong word, but acquaintance, maybe?
Trouble, perhaps?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, you stay here. I will be right back.
And where shall I go? Not being able to speak the language, not being able to pay the price.
Right. Okay, I guess just come with me, I suppose. And he just starts walking over.
We glide along behind you.
Okay, wow. So you guys come up and she looks at the two of you and shakes her head. Salt. Carlito, I did you a favor once.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
And yet here you are, you have never repaid it.
Oh.
Did we lose Eli?
He's scared of that witch.
Yeah, wow.
Eli's like, bye.
Oh, we can fix it both. What's your vibe on, while we wait for Eli to maybe get back, what's your vibe on the witch?
Olivia's?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I mean, I guess she must be from a different family.
Well, you might know her. Yes, that is your power, isn't it?
It is a gift that I have been gifted. Yeah. So maybe I know of her kin.
That seems to me the appropriate thing to roll here.
Okay.
Oh,
I think
Eli's
I'm
back.
Yeah, I think I'm back. Okay. So, witch was talking to me, telling me I shouldn't be there.
Well,
Okay,
saying that you that she did you a favor and you've never repaid it. But let's let Olivia get her know your kin roll because she's studying the witch, and this may come in handy very quickly.
Okay. It's an 8, and I don't remember what I would roll with. Sorry, give me one sec.
Brains.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's a 10 then.
You know that family's secret. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. You ready? She didn't kill Carlito's brother for Carlito. She thrives on doing blood magic. That's like how her people gain their magic. And she was going to kill somebody. So Carlito just wandered by and just gave her a target of opportunity, but she didn't do it in exchange of anything. So she is bluffing about that.
That's great. And what is... Oh, I want to know what her family is.
Oh, her family? Well, the human side is mostly mixed race from various African and Indian inhabitants, but the non-human side is very interesting indeed.
Is there a name or a phrase that I could pepper in the conversation with?
Oh yeah, she almost certainly speaks, Aklo, which is after all your religious language. So
I still don't know what I can say to be like, blank.
saying saying anything in Aklo would get her attention. So, meanwhile, Carlito, what are you doing?
Yeah, Carly was like, I recall that my brother died, so I thought that was the price for the favor
No,
that
the
I didn't
favor.
ask for.
The favor was the murder. The payment is going to come due soon.
That is quite convenient to have both quite a rise in your powers. It's impressive, and to request payment for such an advantageous event.
I see, Salt Girl. You're going to take that tone, huh? And perhaps I'll be in the mood for something salty myself. Perhaps you have kin. And she looks pointedly at Ali.
I look down at Ali, and like a little quizzically. That is correct. And then I turn to Carlito. I hope you caught my meaning.
Were you speaking the Aquilo?
No, I was speaking English.
Okay, just making sure. I think I understood what you mean, though a lot of what you say is pretty mysterious.
You have been duped.
Right. Okay.
Like
wow.
The locals were trying to dupe us with the bandages.
Okay. Well, that's not at all a life-altering revelation.
But this is normal. This is sometimes if you are not in the know, then you have to pay an extra price for your lack of knowledge.
So does that mean I don't owe her anything and she's just bluffing?
I think I smooth out the front of my skirt.
Okay. Well, we should probably keep going. He looks at the witch again, is like, I'm here. I don't know what else you want from me right now, but I got work to do. And he wanders off, hoping Olivia will just follow again.
Cool. One thing that definitely follows you is the witch putting a most malicious and evil curse upon you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's not like witches have any power in this world.
No.
Cool. So, Oren, do you have any plans for Isaac and Esau?
What are they doing on the ship? What has their role become?
They are both able sailors, so they do a lot of the setting of sails, that sort of thing.
So I would like to I have a large purchase. I had to make a large purchase of supplies and stuff, and I need people to carry. I need strong men to carry the supplies back, and I don't think that they will be returning.
Okay. I don't think we need to drill down too deep on that unless you want to. But I'm pretty sure that we can treat this as at least a acting under pressure thing to pull that off.
Sure.
And then let's see if we need to maybe drill that down. All right, how are you planning this? Are they just going to get ambushed by locals, or are you going to call your kin and they'll do their ethereal murder thing, whatever that is?
Yeah, I think we're going to. I'm going to take them, to a warehouse, and ultimately we're going to use them as part of a ritual.
Fantastic.
I don't know what that means. Like if that, I don't know how that works in this world or, Cthulhu in general. So I'm just winging it.
We'll figure that all out together. We'll make this work. Yeah, that definitely sounds like an act under pressure. And if you pull it off, then great, everything went without a hitch. If you don't, then we'll start making some fun complications. Or you are, and you okay? So that's plus balance or minus, as the case may be.
Awesome. Oh, that was the perfect roll.
Actually, yeah, it kind of was. So, of the two, which one do you like the least, Esau or Isaac?
Issa's a more interesting name. Since I don't know anything about them other than their names, I'll go with Isaac being too standard.
Cool. Cool. Esau is the Kingsporter. Great. So, you bring them into the warehouses, and you're getting ready for the ambush. And Esau, being a Kingsporter and a therefore a little more assimilated and therefore a little more guarded, must suss something out because he drops back a little and makes you saying a shoelace. So, are you using your kin or just hired thugs?
Oh, my kin. Yeah,
Okay.
I can call on them.
So when they come shrieking out from the spaces between the spaces, he's able to make a run for the door, and he gets out into the street. Isaac, you guys take. Isaac will have a bad time of it, I'm afraid. But Esau is running through the streets of Montevideo making for the ship. What do you do?
I will. What time of day is it? I'm sure it's midday, right?
Yeah, probably.
I will run after him, and he may or may not have any understanding of my kin. I just said that because people keep talking and it just stuck out. My whatever we're called. And I'm just gonna try to take him down. I'm like really like gonna try to take him down. I will call on my kin to invade his mind and make him go crazy or something, so that I can do this, so that I can stop him before he gets to the ship.
That sounds fun. So it sounds like you need to summon your others like me, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see how that goes. Roll plus beyond.
Eight.
Cool. So which one do you choose? Oh, are you going for manifest as visions or dreams within the minds of those present?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that sounded about what you were. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're trying to keep him from getting back to the ship, or are you just gonna like try and do violence to him here?
I am going to try and make him go mad so that when he goes back to the ship, he's a raving lunatic.
Got it. Why don't we do that as an intimidate roll? Which is plus brawn, but we will follow the fiction on how that works.
8 again.
Huh, cool. It's like, wait. Get them out of my mind. I'll tell you whatever you need to know. Just get them out of my head.
I catch up to him and I drag him into the shadows where we can't be seen. And I tell him they are already extracting the information I need to know.
But I don't know anything more than you. I know we have to go to the place, and I know my people are waiting, and what are you?
No, just know that you are a formidable and worthy sacrifice.
Okay. Fine. So, Cap. Next morning, Bill comes to you. Says, "Well, Captain, we're almost ready to start warping out into the harbor and being underway. I regret to inform you that Isaac apparently has jumped ship, and well, Esau, he seems to be laid up something fierce. He's just sitting in his bunk in the foretop and in the forecastle and pays no one any mind."
Wow. Should we replace him on the crew, or has anyone spoken with him?
Not that I know of, ma'am. Should we send for the surgeon?
Let me go and talk to him, see if he can tell me what's wrong, and then maybe Olivia might need to help.
Yes, ma'am. I'll see to the ship.
So I make my way up to the forecastle.
Cool. Yeah. So Esau is just sitting in his bunk, just sort of staring at the ceiling.
I sit down next to him. So I hear you haven't been talking to anyone.
He's quiet for a very long time, so long that you think he almost hasn't heard.
Mm-hmm.
And then he slowly rolls his head over to look at you. 3 disasters you are to face upon this voyage, Captain.
Just the 3.
The 3 that were foretold.
What disasters are those?
The first you shall think is of no one's doing, but you will be wrong.
Sabotage?
He slowly rolls his head back. In the places my mind wanders, it's very hard for me to hear you.
She moves from the chair next to his bunk to sit on the side of his bunk and look at him. and says, "Are you saying that there will be sabotage?"
Tell Olivia Pembleton that my mind has been loosed from the waves, and now I have joined the dance at the center of the universe.
I can tell her that.
I have no idea what it means, but I'll tell her that.
I have an important question for you. And unfortunately, one that doesn't have anything to do with the center of the universe. Do I need to replace you on my ship, or can you haul sail still?
I think he doesn't say anything. He just looks back up at the top of his bunk.
Well, that answers my question. And she makes her way back up and calls Bill over.
Yes, Captain.
Well, I have to deliver a very strange message to our surgeon, and I need you to find me 2 new crew members.
Well, our surgeons tend to get very strange message. And 2 crew members? Where will we bunk the extra one?
I mean,
Or are we to leave Esau here on the shore?
I think we're going to have to put Esau ashore.
I see.
I'm not keeping somebody that can't work on a ship on a cruise this long.
Yes, I will go out and see whom I might be able to hire who's got experience on a whaler. That may delay our departure, Captain.
I'd rather have a full crew than none. And being short 2 hands means that we are sorely short.
Yes, I will see, but we'll probably lose the tide. And with that, Bill jumps off.
I pat Bill on the shoulder and say, "The tide always comes back, son," and then walk off.
It's like, yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Cool. I guess you need to talk to Olivia, huh?
Yeah, I go to deliver Olivia's message. Where are you on the ship, Olivia?
I'm on deck.
Oh, okay. So I walk over to you. What are you doing on deck? Just like looking around or enjoying the sunshine, working?
I'm standing in the spot I always stand on.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I walk over and I like lean up against the railing, and I don't look at you at first, and I say, "I've been given a strange message to impart to you." And unfortunately, with it comes the knowledge that we're probably going to have to put Esau ashore. And so I just tell
dead?
Esau is not dead, but Esau cannot haul sail, and I can't have people on my ship that can't work.
And what was the message again?
What was it that his mind wanders?
It's been loosed from the waves, and his mind dances at the center of the universe.
That.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know what good it gives you.
Is that where you would have wanted to see?
What, the center of the universe?
Yes.
I'm not sure. Depends on what it's like there.
Do you dance, Captain?
And I turn away from my spot at the rail and say, "An odd question. I feel like every sailor knows at least a dance or 2.
If you're at the center of the universe, I should think that it's so hot that you can do naught but dance.
You are likely right.
I wish you luck on what you search for this trip.
And what are you searching for?
I'm not sure, but I will be told.
told what you're searching for?
What I must seek.
Well, I hope it isn't something that hurts you in the finding.
You're a kind captain.
I pat you on the shoulder as I walk by and say, "Don't tell anyone."
Would you still like to be fixed?
Oh, yes, I do need some attention.
Shall you join me then?
Yes.
I don't know if I should try again to try to heal you.
Oh yeah, you should definitely try again.
It went so well last time.
It really did.
I'm fine.
I mean, I feel like if this, I'm gonna try to roll to heal you. It will be almost exactly the same. Like it'll look almost. It's like they just reused the same clip.
It's gonna go great.
Okay, so Kat, can I roll for it?
Yeah, please do. I invite you to.
Thanks, Kat. That's not ominous.
Okay, surgeon's work. Great. Oh
God, what
no!
happened?
I rolled 2 plus 2 is 4.
No. Nope. Not good.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Not going well for me.
On a miss, I don't heal my patient, and they fall into a state of hallucination and sense the beyond.
Real into it. Super thrilled. Like, gonna really enjoy this.
Oh wow, yeah, that is a wow. That's a rare miss condition. Cool.
Is this what led to the dancing with lightning bolts before?
Yeah, this is what. Yeah, yep. This is for sure why I decided to touch the lightning rod during a storm. Appreciate you.
Cool. Yeah, so why don't you look into the beyond?
Great. I'm really excited to roll my beyond, which I think is what? 0? Great. Real into it. It's gonna go super well. I roll a 5. What happens when I roll a 5?
You guys are awesome. On a miss, I will make things worse.
Right.
Good. Cool. Okay. Cool. So, you're once again delirious off of whatever it is that that Olivia uses to give you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why when you look up and you see Esau standing in the doorway, you think that you're hallucinating him again because you just saw him. He was catatonic. And so when he stabs Olivia, you don't do anything about it. Olivia, take 1 harm, please.
Oh my God.
Cool. Does he say anything to me?
No, he's doing just his eyes are a million miles away, kind of super creepy look.
True.
What do you guys do?
I mean, I imagine I'm sort of immobilized.
I mean, you can scream.
I mean, I probably definitely do scream, even if I am hallucinating. I think that's a natural reaction.
Cool. So I think the way to do this is, Olivia, let's find out what you're gonna do. But Carlito, if you want to run in, you will be you can as soon as that's done.
To be honest, I'm not really sure how Olivia would respond to this. I'm gonna see what Carlito does first.
Fantastic. So, Carlito, what do you do?
Oh wait, yeah. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna rush in and tackle the dude.
Fantastic.
And
Wanna
I was
chat?
yeah. So with force, I guess, or whatever it's called in
Yep.
this game.
Active force.
Yeah.
That is plus brawn.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. Yep.
Cool. So you get to choose 2 from that list.
So I take hold of the situation. He is
Yeah.
seized by me. And I suffer little harm.
All right. Cool. So you tackle him so hard, he drops the knife. And now he's just sort of raving silently, which is really kind of weird and scary. But yeah, you can definitely immobilize him, or Olivia can give him a little ether to put him down, or
Is he of my kin? Because I know there's a lot of different kin on this.
he is definitely a deep one. So I'm gonna say that probably counts. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, that's different then. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say if I can also come in because of the yelling.
I'm also I'm like calling people and yelling for someone to come help us, like drag him out of here or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just hear what if Olivia wants to do something, but then we'll cue you in right after that.
Yeah, I think because if he is kin, I mean, I'm like he like stabs me in the since it's one harm, maybe I guess it's in the side, maybe. And I'm like standing up slowly and going up to him. And I look into his eyes, and I think he is gone, right? His mind is gone.
It's wandering somewhere.
Well, if it's gone, then we should send him off.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna start that process, or?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I could either just kill him, or I don't know if there's like a specific ritual associated with it, because I feel like this is a thing that happens within the Pendleton family.
Let's ponder that as Oren makes his appearance.
So I stumble in here, and I see what is the captain doing? Like what's going on with the captain?
I am sorry, I thought I was not muted. I think I am still just sort of like yelling. Like I genuinely am like feverish and think that I'm hallucinating. I think if somebody were to address me directly or like kind of like shake me out of it, I'd probably snap out of it. But I think most people are focused on, the dude stabbing people.
So, is there any role like reach into the maelstrom or something like that where I can try to use magic?
100%. There's sense what's beyond.
Okay, because I don't have that other sheet. All my stuff disappeared.
Oh, I'll share you the folder.
Yeah. So you can't. It doesn't look like from here that you can. There's some moves explicitly for doing magic, but you can definitely.
Oh, we could scan a move as using magic, and then I can make something up for it. Well, what's the thing you want to do?
I want to, knowing that this is my last session, I'm fully pulling the dick moves right now. I want to heal the captain, but have her owe me a debt, so that this is my move to take control of the ship. Does that make sense?
That sounds like you are manipulating someone.
But I want it to be more like actually like bonding it with, like binding it with magic or something like that, more than just a manipulation.
I think it works as a manipulation rule just because that gives me the option to say no.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just trying to speaking to my intent.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you can do it as a manipulation role and then just have it be the way that the manipulation looks is like X, because that's, I feel like look into the beyond as a skin doesn't work because it doesn't actually compel anybody to do anything. It just lets you reveal things about the world. But manipulate is like you're going to get a concrete result from me.
Yeah.
Well, I would tell you to roll with beyond instead of beauty as the way to skin that, but they're synonymous in your case, so it's going to work. Yeah, I think we can follow the fiction on it. Like, if it's definitely some sort of magic pact you're doing here, using the blood and everything that's going on, we can definitely skin that in, and I'll make it work.
Yeah.
10.
Oakley dokley. Okay, so I guess the promise you're making is to heal her, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. And what's your ask? What is it you want her to do?
I want her to commit her loyalty to me and perform as she is, but when the time comes, she needs to do what I tell her to do.
Gotcha. How's that sound to you, Serafina?
It's really quite innocent.
Oh yeah, totally innocent. So for PCs, it says on a 10 plus both. What's both? Both of what?
Both. If you do it, you'll take +1 on your next roll, and if you refuse, you're acting under pressure. So, yeah. So on a 7 through 9, you only get to choose carrot or stick, but on a 10, you get a carrot, and then you hang a carrot on the end of the stick.
Great, good. Great.
But since we're skinning it this way, I'll totally give you back the harm so long as you do what you're told.
Right. I think. Well, also I have a question. What does the magic look like? Because this isn't a manipulation roll. This is like a magic roll.
Right. So I come to you and I put my hand on your cheek, and I look like to everybody around, like I look really concerned about your well-being. But as you look at me, my disguise only to you is kind of revealed. Like you see what I am. And I'm speaking this pact with you, like in your mind, and you know it's coming from me, and you know it's bad shit. We're not bad, like awesome.
Yeah. And so your basic thing is you will do I will save you, and you will do me this favor. Like at some point, I will call upon you to act in a certain way, and you will do it.
Yes.
I think she takes it. I don't think there's any reason in her head for her not to.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think she sees it as her giving up the entire leadership of her ship. She'll do you a favor.
Oh, good.
And it goes super well.
Yeah, that will go fine. No, nothing bad.
Great.
So I'm gonna do is I knocked off the segment 2 harm, so that your harm can now get better on its own. Cool. I think with that, it sounds like you're. Oh wait, we need to figure. So Olivia, what do you do with poor Esau?
I direct Ali to take this man, and I think that Ali is strong enough to do it because he is no longer restricted by the body of a child. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming. And then we will collectively take him and go to this the deck and toss him into the ocean.
Cool. I think that merits an act under pressure, just because there's a lot of people who might be like, "Hey, what's up with this?"
That's fair. Oh, that's balance, and I think that balance is like 0. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I rolled a 9. Okay.
That's fantastic.
Third buckle or break.
Where's outcome, hard bargain, or an ugly choice? Okay. So this is what happens. You toss Esau into the water next to the pier. Nobody on the ship stops you, but some people on the pier point at that and they shout for the shore patrol to come. And they fish Esau out of the water. You're not sure if he's still breathing or not. Meanwhile, Bill has been directing the crew to warp the ship away from the pier as fast as possible and get underway.
This is a shame.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like you sent Esau back to the parents, but also doesn't look like you're going to get arrested, but you may not wish to pass through Uruguay anytime soon, as you're probably wanted for attempted murder.
Yeah, I look at Ali and I say, they're doing him a disservice.
We always collect our own.
Indeed. Then we head back below deck.
Okay, not creepy at all. This sounds like a wonderful time to take a break before my cats decide to commit felicide on my desk. So why don't we come back in about 5 or so minutes? Okay. We lost Eli during the hubbub there, but he said he'll be back on shortly. This whole thing is just kind of cursed to only have 3 people at any time. Cool. Literally nothing is cool, but you're fine. Everything is fine. The ship is fine. You're sailing. So the bad news is you are sailing underhanded now, because with everything that went on, Bill did not have time to get any new sailors. That doesn't mean the ship is in any danger. It just means you're short on a watch. It will be problematic when you lower for whales, because you'll need people to stand as shipminders or not launch a 4th boat. So that'll be a problem. But for now, you're okay. Well, you would be if it were not for that darn storm. So as soon as you get out onto the open sea, a storm blows up. And so your dreams of maybe putting in somewhere before you try and round the cape are somewhat dashed, as you cannot sight land currently. So you are sailing shorthanded, but luckily you're not going to be lowering for whales in this weather. Now, Cap, I'm sure you're an old salt, and you don't think anything of unusual weather because it happens. But when it's been 10 straight days and you're stuck in the same storm, it tries your soul a little bit, right?
Yep.
But as near as you can tell, you're approaching the Cape, or your choice of trying to hard round the Cape, or to try and go through the Drake Passage, which means going even further south.
Well, which one is more dangerous to do in a storm?
Oh, rounding the Cape.
Let's go further south.
Okay, cool.
We are haunted by storms. Let's just say fuck it.
No problem. So you're down in the roaring 40s, huh? So I think I mentioned this earlier. The funny thing about the 40 degrees south latitude is there's no land anywhere on the planet there. So the wind just blows.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it blows the opposite direction that you want to go, which is one of the reasons this little trip is such a pain in the butt. Okie dokie. I think this merits, Cap, a act under pressure roll for you.
Sounds awesome.
Because this is definitely some sort of pressure acting here.
Cool. So I roll a 6. What is 6? 4 and a 2. 6 plus balance 8.
Okay. Cool. Let's give you some kind of hard choice here, or worst outcome. Okay. You are forced to essentially lie to in the middle of this storm, which means you're not going anywhere. You have to set as little sail as possible, and you just try and ride it out. And you do that for 3 days. Yeah, and the boat is rocking. It's pitching crazily. So let me take a look at something here. Yep. So I'm just gonna inflict a little harm on Carlito and Oren because you guys get bashed. If you're already at 1 harm, it just keeps it there. But there's always this constant. You have to have lifelines rigged on the deck, and standing watch is just an utter misery right now. Because you're on the deck and the water just washes right over the side constantly. That you just can't stay dry up there. Cool. But then on the 3rd day, the weather changes and the wind comes directly from the south. So you're able to set sail again, not as much as you'd like because, again, you're in the middle of the storm, but now you're headed for the actual rounding, or at least to start turning north, you think.
Right.
You've been keeping careful watch, but you haven't been able to take a sun sighting, so you're not really sure of your north-south position right now. You're fairly confident, and without that, you're not exactly sure of your east-west position either.
Great.
You do the best you can. You point it at the glowing part of the sky that glows the most, but it's hard to get a good read on where you are. Cool. And that night is when all hell breaks loose.
Great.
So, Carlito, when the top foremast breaks off and comes crashing to the deck, where are you?
Oh dear. I mean, probably not too far from it, sadly. So I'm guessing I need to roll under fire.
I would say that's probably an appropriate thing. For those of you who are not as nautically read as I, masts on ships are what they call stepped. So they're not one piece of timber that goes straight up. They are broken into little sections as you go higher and higher. So what happened here is that the top foremast snapped off at the point where it's attached to the main foremast, but which is fixable. You probably have a spare mast. But in the meantime, it has fallen on the deck and the yards are everywhere. What did you get on that roll, Carlito?
9.
Ah, cool. Cool. So it falls down and you dodge out of the way and you see that Elizabeth is pinned under the yardarm.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go try and lift that up off her.
Cool. You need help for sure.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna call for people. And yeah, just assume I don't feel like yelling in real life.
Cool. Cap, where are you when the foremast crashes onto the front of the deck? You're muted, Serafina.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was still muted. In the midst of the storm, I think I was on the quarterdeck shouting orders. Because as much as I like to get my hands dirty, having somebody that's giving direction is the important thing. But when that comes down, it's like all hands. Everybody's gotta help.
All right, so you see Carlito screaming that Elizabeth is pinned under a yardarm. So you come rushing up. I think what do you do? People are trying to haul it off.
I think I direct everyone to, because it's so heavy, to grab some of the rope that's kept on deck and like make a lever system, like a pulley.
Yeah, you guys know how to do that.
Yeah, so like instead of just like trying to haul, because like everyone's just reacting to try and like haul it off her. I'm like, no, we have to like wrap the rope around and like do the thing.
All right, so yeah, what you would do is you'd run a block up to the main mast and use that to haul her off.
Yeah.
Cool.
Am I rolling act under pressure?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see what thing you miss. What thing do you potentially miss while you're doing this?
Right. I roll a 12.
Fantastic. You miss nothing. So you pull it off, and Elizabeth gets bundled down to the sick bay, I think. So maybe we'll pick up Carlito and Elizabeth there. Bill comes running up, shouting that things are really bad. And so here's a fun fact about sailing ships. If they pitch crazily enough, they can literally roll their masts out of the socket and they will fall into the ocean.
That's a really excellent design that we came up with.
It was, as with all things, it was a compromise. It's not normal. It just is a thing that can happen, and that is what Bill is screaming that he is afraid. But you're always afraid of something like that. But other than that, the ship seems right now to be okay. But the foremast being down is a problem.
Right.
You were running a sail on the foremast. You're not carrying much sail during a storm. You would only carry a few small sails just to give you enough. A sailing ship can't steer unless it's actually got wind pushing the sails. So you have to have a little bit of a sail up there so you can steer. But other than that, there's almost nothing up there. Cool. So yeah. Excellent. I think let's see Olivia, Elizabeth, and Carlito next.
I'm not sure if this is a better or worse place for Elizabeth to be.
Yeah, nobody is. 19th century medicine is awesome.
So I feel that I've carried her down. Is she conscious? How's her injuries?
She's in a lot of pain. You don't think you see anything that broke, but you are not a surgeon.
No, I'm a harpooner, not a doctor.
Cool. So Olivia, I guess you're on. What are you and Ali doing in the middle of this horrible storm?
If we are, I think we're standing by, like, but not in the way of people because we're not. I'm not a sailor. Ali maybe could be helping, but I feel like he's not necessarily doing that. But if someone needs a surgeon, then I will go offer that.
Cool. Yep. I think the thing you should do is roll your surgeon's work then.
I shall. It has not served us wrong before.
You'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Oh, I rolled an 11 this time.
Oh wow. Yep. She had a badly sprained leg and a dislocated shoulder, but you punch both of those back into shape, and then she passes out from the horrendous pain of those operations. Cool. So, hey, Oren, you remember your friend Gabriel McCoy? The other one of your kind? He was the other one of your kind on the ship. Yeah, so he comes to you and says, "This is obviously the sign that we've been waiting for."
Yes. No, go ahead. You were going to say.
No. So, what shall we do, kinsman?
I think we need to the veil between the worlds is thin. We need to begin the ritual to have more of our kin possess the sailors, the crew.
Cool. So what is that going to take? Do you need do you want to do that as just a straight roll, or is there a little bit more that you want to do to set that up?
So there's more than just Gabriel, right? On the or is it just Gabriel? The other?
There might be like one other guy, I think.
Yeah,
that we haven't named.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Not extensive, because remember when we had a meeting, there was a group of us. So let's say that there's 4 total, so 3 more.
Okay.
All right. So we set out and start carving sigils on strategic locations throughout the ship, like underneath the railing and stuff like that, as we are chanting into the wind.
Fantastic. That sure sounds like it merits a act under pressure roll from you.
Okay. And that is what?
Balance.
Oh, I'll be fine then. Six. It was a very solid 6.
Your balance is -1?
Yes.
Okay, good. Cool. So you're carving your sigils, and you hear Lars, who's one of the sailors who belongs to your kind. He's yelling at that cabin boy the ship picked up back in the doldrums, Neb, who is screaming something that he recognizes the evil eye when he sees it. What are you gonna do?
The kid. Okay, who's giving who the evil eye?
The
Lars
kid
giving
is. Yeah, Neb has seen the signs you're carving, and he recognizes them as some kind of inhuman magic.
Yeah. What are our lines and veils?
That is an excellent question. Let me pull up the sexual violence, romantic coercion, torture of animals, teeth stuff, historically accurate and problematic descriptions of First Nations people, which I kind of rolled up into historically accurate racism. If you're gonna ask, X cards at the ready, folks. I don't know.
Yeah. I will preemptively X card killing a child. If that's where you were going.
Well, yeah, it was just going to be an innocent push, but okay. So so the trick that I did, that I performed on Captain, I'm going to perform on the kid. But essentially it puts him in a deep sleep, which is ultimately harmless.
So you're just trying to straight out magic him, and you're not really trying to manipulate him into doing something, right?
Right.
So let's see. Is this within your capabilities? Yeah, I think if you and Lars are both there, Neb's only a kid, it probably is. Cool. Let's do it this way. Let's call it act with force, but roll beyond.
Okay. $12.
All right. So you're going to choose 3 out of take definite hold, suffer little harm, because magic is dangerous, inflict terrible harm, which you probably don't want, or impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy, which I think. So I'm going to just guess based on what you said that you'll take the first. You'll take everything but inflict harm, right?
Right.
Yep. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so we can follow impress, dismay, or frighten into either he's asleep or he's screaming away. But we'll go with asleep for now. He's knocked out and having bad dreams.
I was thinking something along the lines of like a coma, like 2-day sleep type thing.
Okay, I think that that'll probably work for now. We'll just see how that ends up. But cool. So meanwhile, though, your work on doing the sigils is delayed. Good. Okay. So, Captain, my captain.
Yes.
Yeah. So, thoughts
on
your situation?
And my monkey. So we've gotten everything off of her.
Yep.
I think I'm mainly concerned with getting the ship safely through the storm. So as long as nobody else wants to achieve anything in this immediate moment, I think I would want to act under pressure to get us through where we are. Get us to calmer, safer water.
Cool. All right. So some time passes. And the storm is showing no signs of abating. you're coasting along. You have, you're still down the top four masts. So your trim is ungainly, which has been a problem. You've got to have two guys on the wheel because the wind and the pitching is so terrible. Cool. In that case, yep. Okay, Oren. I think you want to probably call for your kin as the next plan, right?
I was thinking that this would be where I command the captain to go deeper into the storm where the veil is most thin.
Let's do that.
The bridge between the worlds is most weak, and this is where I can execute my devilry.
That sounds like a scene we should have.
So I run up to the captain, and you're like looking for quieter waters, and I'm like hanging on, and I'm like, no, this way, and it's like black. You can't even see the waves. It's so like.
And I'm like screaming at you over the wind and the howling storm, and I'm like, "Are you crazy? We can't go that way. We'll get tipped over. We'll all die."
That way. This is your debt.
I'm still steering like away from it, and I say, agreeing to pay a debt to you doesn't mean I'm going to put my entire crew at risk.
You won't. This is to the benefit of all.
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll to manipulate or something, because she really doesn't want to go in there.
I think this is where you are now forced to act under pressure.
Okay, cool. I'll roll.
Yeah.
9. I roll an 11.
Cool. Let's get back to that in just a sec. Yeah, so Carlito, you want to look beyond, you're saying? What does that look like for you?
I think physically it just kind of looks like me looking off into space, because I don't know, the storm for 3 days is weird, and I came across a witch that's weird. So I'm just thinking and pondering, and inside, like my head, basically, it looks like flashbacks to the weird dreams I've had of my brother bursting out of the ice, to that night in the forest. Yeah, and then I'll roll. Oh, well, it's a 4, so,
Okay, cool. So you're just sitting there, like, next to Elizabeth's bunk, thinking about all this horrible stuff, and Ali walks in.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oh, yes. You must be embraced if you wish to be saved.
No, thank you, Ellie. I'm not interested in that.
Then this night will surely be your last.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not believe me?
I mean, I do believe it's possible, but this is... I don't know what to say. I'm just totally creeped out by this kid.
In the moments to come, only the magic of the old forces of the earth will be able to save you.
Okay. And so that involves the embrace you're talking about?
We offer you our protection, Carlito. You will become one of us. You will become one of our family, and we guard our children jealously.
I would like to appear in the doorway as well.
Just glide in, even though the ship is pitching crazily. The poor steady cam operator's taking Dramamine. Sure.
Yeah, I'm just standing there behind.
You don't say anything.
We're looking at you with identical eyes.
Oh yeah. I'm really tired of magic people messing with my life. And actually Carlito says this even in a way that is more fitting of that particular time. But yeah, I am not interested. Get out of here before I smack you.
Of course. Your life or death is your decision.
Okay, then I decide not to, just leave it up to fate.
Okay. Not unsettling at all. All right. So back on the quarterdeck, huh? All right. So you're successfully keeping you're keeping your course when suddenly you see the St. Elmo's fire lighting up on the mast again.
No. Black.
I really ought to Foley in. If I wouldn't get caught by YouTube, I'd Foley that in right now. So what are you gonna do, Cap? You're breaking your promise to the magic man who cured you.
Yeah, because I don't want my crew to die.
Mm-hmm. He said your crew wouldn't die.
Don't. I like him, but I don't believe him.
I would say I would be playing devil's advocate, but I'm not really sure the devil is the one in charge here.
I'm going to roll to read a situation.
That sounds like an excellent plan.
Excellent plan. It's not a bad plan at all. My brains are 2, so I rolled a 6. I rolled an 8. So read a situation. On a 7 and 9, I get to ask 2.
Ask me your questions.
Okay. So who or what is in control here?
Not you, not even a little bit.
Well, that doesn't answer my question.
Oren seems to somehow have some control of the storm.
Okay. And what here is not what it seems?
I think given the point where we are and where the series is, the correct answer is the same answer. Oren is not what he seems.
Great. I think there is a moment when there's like a flash of lightning and Oren is still, standing near me on the deck. And is my amulet also lit up with the St. Elmo's fire like before?
Of course.
Of course it is. So I look at him and I say, fine, have it your way. And I direct them to turn deeper into the storm.
Cool.
It's not gonna go well.
Yeah, no. So you turn the rudders and you give orders to change the change the sail sets, and Bill comes running up and like, Captain, are you mad?
I look at him and I say, on any other day, I'd say no.
Oh, good. Okay. Cool. So, not long after, Bill comes running down into the surgery to find you, Olivia. Or does he find you guys in the forecastle talking to Carlito?
Yeah. Well, leaving, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're roboting a little. Cool. So yeah, Bill comes running up. He's like, Surgeon, something's wrong with the captain.
Of course.
She's telling us to go into the heart of the storm.
Is she now?
Yes, I think I just said that. And the ship rolls again.
Very well. She is the captain.
Okay, keep it together, Bill Walker. You're on a ship of fools. Note to self. Good name. Okay.
I think I reach out and I take a handkerchief and I just like dab at his face.
Thank you kindly, miss. Miss, I've heard it said round that you have some of the Pendleton powers, right?
What is it that you seek?
Are we gonna die?
That depends on the decision that you make.
I don't understand.
If a rain drops into the ocean, does it not become a part of the ocean?
I suppose so, ma'am, but I've noticed that I am a right bit heavier than the rain.
You can change that.
Well, I will take that to mind, miss. Now, if you don't mind, I must go about set the sails so that we may resume our suicide course.
You take care, Bill.
Okay, dokie. All right, so Oren, the ship is now well on its way into the center of the storm. What's your plan?
So I call others, the others like me, to possess the crew.
Okay. That sure sounds like it's time to make that roll, huh?
I think so.
I think you should do it with +1 forward.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
$10.
Awesome. So you get to choose. Do you choose 1 or 2? They come to help, but choose 1.
I choose 1, but then they also leave me with something otherworldly, which is kind of what I'm trying to do now, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, what's the other one you choose? What's the option you choose?
I think that they manifest as visions and dreams, as nightmares within the minds of everybody, like who gets possessed or not. But I would say that a huge portion of the crew they're taken over by my species, by the creatures.
Okay. So folks look up at the glowing St. Elmo's fire on the mastheads, and then they start to shriek because they are beginning to see your ethereal glowing creature forms hanging up there instead of the corpus cats. Cool. So Cap, people are shrieking. The boat is pitching. You still have no foremast.
Now I'm mad.
Well,
Well, no, I meant more angry.
Oh.
Because I mean, is there any physical sign of them showing up?
People are having visions of them in the glow of St. Elmo's fire, and there are members of the crew who are like, I don't know what, screaming, holding their heads, that sort of thing. That sound about right, Oren?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody is having these visions, so everybody like knows what's happening right now. Not everybody's going to get possessed, but everybody's.
Yeah.
I'm very curious. Like, was this a part of the Pembleton plan as well?
Probably not. No.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll to intimidate, and I'm basically gonna grip up Oren up against the edge of the ship. And well, we'll see what I roll.
Wait, you're like handling me? Would this be an act with force, or is it act?
Well, so that's with seizing or securing my hold on something.
Yeah.
I'm rolling to intimidate because I want it to be more an intimidation roll.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it, I was like, act with force isn't really like the right.
Yeah, no, this is, if you're trying to get him to do something with violence, then it's for sure intimidate.
Yeah. So I rolled a 10.
Wow. That's unexpected.
I mean, did not think it was going to go that well, but like I'm not against it. And I push him up against the side of the ship, and I'm against like yelling over the wind, and I'm like, "You said nothing would happen to my crew. Look at them. Undo this."
And I say, like, there's like joy on my face, and I say, yes, look at them. So I don't know how to interpret what to do. Maybe because I'm intimidated, my next roll should be under fire or something, because I'm not going to change my course of actions. But
yeah,
then if you're not going to change your course of actions, then you must endure the consequences of whatever threat the captain was going to follow through on. What was your threat? Were you going to throw him overboard?
I mean, that's how she's feeling.
I reveal myself. Like, I just reveal myself.
Okie dokie.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you pitch him over the rail, and his mortal form falls away, and you see that glowing arthropod hanging there. Because you can fly, basically, right? You're not in the material plane.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll. This is who I am.
I think.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that this is not what the Pembletons would have wanted, so I was a little confused.
Well, I mean, nobody told you what they wanted.
You
So-
weren't supposed
That's
to
true.
realize this. Yeah.
So in light of this, I would like to go to the deck and invoke the marriage between the earth and the sea. And the sea.
Okay, that's fantastic. So let's do this in the correct order, though. So Oren is revealed, so he gets to roll the "This is who I am" roll.
Mhm.
And I think probably we can stage it so that Olivia is just coming up on deck when this happens, so that we'll see how this goes. So Oren, what'd you get on that? It's a plus balance.
I rolled a 10.
That
Total.
That is very good for you. So you get to choose 3. Those around you hesitate. Those around you are distracted. You are immune to harm for a single act. You reveal an opportunity created by your form. You discover a way in, out, or past that only you can traverse. We get 3 of those.
I'm going to pick. You reveal an opportunity created by your form. Those around me hesitate.
It sounds like you also chose immune to harm since you didn't pitch into the waves. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, Cap, you stumble back, I think, on this, and like the crew all turn, and unfortunately, some of them are beginning to fall to their knees in an act of, let's just say it started with religious awe, and we'll see where the evening takes us. Olivia, you probably popped up and were given immediate pause by what you saw. So that gives you an opportunity, Oren, to do something.
Yeah. I had a thought and then it went away. Oh shit, it's gone. Oh, sorry. Okay. So I'm thrown overboard, and then I just kind of like turn into this thing, and I kind of come floating back. And I see Olivia on the ship. And so now when I speak, it's just thoughts in your heads at this point. And I'm just saying, this is the ship of the Orani now. We have taken over. And because you were gonna initiate the something between the what and the sky and the sea, the marriage.
The marriage between the earth and the sea, which happened before, like 2 sessions.
That was my session. But I also got something in that spell as well. So for you to invoke that would also, I think, benefit me.
Is that how that works? Was that what happened?
So I believe you all did carry away something from the marriage between the land and the sea, but it does not have to be the same thing.
I think you can be benefited in whatever way, but I also have not stated what I am going to do exactly.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I think this is just out of character. I think this is really awesome. I'm looking like I'm going to win. I really, really, really hope you all tear me down like awesome. So go ahead.
Okay.
And I don't even know what winning means.
Cool. So you're invoking the marriage between land and sea. And
yes.
What are your ends here? And what is this going to look like?
It is going to tear a path through. Oh, because this is like, we were like at where the veil is very thin between this and the other world.
Yes, that was the implication.
Right, and I wasn't really sure. It doesn't. Okay, that doesn't matter. But what I am going to do, that the marriage between the earth and the sea was to renew the strength of the Pembleton blood, and the Pembleton blood should carry this ship to the Pembleton purpose, which was actually to do some whaling and make money because we care a lot about money, apparently. Excuse me. So, that is what invoking this will do. It is going to tear a path through the storm and bring us to the other side of it.
Okay. I think the way to do this is for you to act under pressure, but roll beyond.
Okay. Is it possible? Okay, I'm just throwing things out there. Is it possible if I were to scatter some Pimpleton blood into this mix for me to perhaps add potency to it? So if I inflicted harm on myself, could I get like plus one forward or something? I don't know.
I think I think what you can do is if you spill your blood and inflict one harm on yourself, the blood that scatters upon the people near you will enable you to treat them as your kin, at least as long as you're invoking the marriage. Does that help?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Great. I will roll with beyond. Yeah. I think I'm speaking in whatever the language is. I forgot the word for it.
Eklo.
Yes. Okay, roll for your party. Okay, so that is an 8.
Okay, cool. So, Cap, even though you are in the middle of a horrible storm, you are a whaler, right?
Yep.
So, all this is going on. People are shrieking. They're holding their head. They're getting ready to worship Oren and his people.
Yep.
Suddenly, you hear from up in the mainmast where they're trying to rig another staysail. Someone shouts, "There she blows!"
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope. And some huge gray form is swimming alongside of the ship and then in front of it, and there's a rip in the sky, and there's a beam of light coming from one direction. But in the meantime, Oren, you and your people can take this moment to attack Olivia if you want.
Yes, of course.
Okay. That sure sounds like you should be seizing her with force then.
Okay, what is that?
That is plus bronze.
Oh, she's got no chance then.
Well, interesting things may happen.
Yes. 5. Flat.
Interesting things
0.
are going to happen.
Yes.
Cool. I'm about to get all believery up in here.
Cool. So you guys start to move in, but with the passage now opened up out of the storm, suddenly the ability you thought you were going to have to take corporeal form and like damage her is ripped away, mostly because there are people around her who now believe in her. The blood she scattered on them has somehow broken your hold slightly. So you and your kind are taken aback slightly. And at that moment, Cap, you hear someone shout, "There she breaches!"
Right?
So you're standing on the quarterdeck. You're actually not even on the quarterdeck anymore. You're in the middle of the deck by the mainmast. All this horrible stuff is going on. And you are the one paying attention to this because, Olivia is concentrating and ripping a path between the worlds. Oren and his people are closing in. Carlito is down beneath the deck trying, yelling at Ali. Something raises itself out of the water. It is not a whale. For one thing, whales only have 2 eyes in general.
Speaking.
Also, Unless there's a giant squid perched on its front, it's probably not supposed to have tentacles.
Great. Good.
And it looks right at you.
Gonna kill that. Definitely have to kill that.
Are you going to kill it? You asked to see the face of your god.
I have asked to see the face of my god.
Or you see in the face of something.
In the face of something. I think that in this moment, what I am going to do is try and use spiritual fire. Spreading my faith to inspire many others.
That is a cool move. I think you should use that.
I know, right? So I'm gonna roll that and see what happens. Cool. I rolled a 12.
Let's also put Carlito on the deck because I like the idea of him having a harpoon in his hand right at this moment.
I rolled a 12, which is an 11 after I one off because I don't have beauty. And so the way this looks, I get to choose 3. Great. I'm gonna take all 3 except not using violence. And so the way this looks is I look into the eye of this mystical creature, and I think I was like stunned by the reveal of Oren and his fellows. And then as I look at it, I take heart and I pull my sword. And I start shouting to all of the people that have been like immobilized on the deck and like seeing visions and like having these horrible experiences. And I'm like, they may be creatures from the beyond, but we are sailors and, and people of the sea, and they cannot conquer us. Form up behind me and let us bring gods to them. And then I attack. So they act immediately, they don't misinterpret my message, and they don't demand boons or miracles from me later. And so I've got like the St. Elmo's fire around my neck, and I'm running at Oren and his weird tentacle friends.
Cool. Yeah, they're ethereal, so inflicting damage on them may be a problem, but that's good.
We'll find out how this goes.
Okay.
I trust the narrative to figure itself out.
Yeah, part of the problem is that there are still people who are either possessed or, still in a state of religious fervor from the Orani, if that's what we're going to call them. So there is a fight now on the decks of the whaler. But meanwhile, Bill is screaming for people to get up into the tops and drop some sails so that you have a chance to make it to that spot you see. So let's start with our violent characters. So Carlito, what are you doing in all this? There's some horrible monster raising itself out of the sea and crashing back into the waves, and also there is a deadly mutiny fight going on board on the deck.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm still in my game, babe. Yeah. So, demon, whale, or army of creepies. What might seem like more of a threat to where I am?
Probably the people.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kick some ass, and we'll see how that goes.
Fantastic. So it's act with force all around.
8. Cool. Kicking some butt.
Yeah, just choose 2.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to reopen it again. With force. I take hold of the situation and impress, dismay, or frighten my enemies. And inflict terrible harm.
Wait, you only got 2 because you rolled a 7.
Yes,
so,
you're right.
So I like those 2, though. I mean, you might not want to murder your shipmates,
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, you're right. Maybe not inflict terrible harm, but the other two.
Okay. I am picturing you striding across the deck, maybe in the grand tradition of Kingsport with your shirt open or off.
Yep.
Holding your harpoon, which is tipped with St. Elmo's fire, and beating the hell out of people with it.
Oh yeah, it looks, yeah, it's pretty impressive. I know how to wield it like a staff. You know, I probably shouldn't know how to, but I know.
Excellent. Okay, let's go next to Olivia, I think. So, civil war upon the decks of the Tethys.
Yes. But I have one goal, which is to deliver this ship.
Cool. So, what's that look like for you?
I don't know if I necessarily even really see what's happening right now. Because I think I'm kind of pulled into the throes of magic. And it's kind of beyond my control. I only invoked it, but I have to, I don't know, be the fulcrum for it to turn. I don't know. So
I like that.
yeah, there's like wind and there's like shouting and blood splattering around me. I don't know where I was standing on the deck, but presumably somewhere where people will not reach me.
I think you are actually close to the wheel. I think maybe part of the magic is you just grab the wheel.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Cool.
Yeah, and all of I think my hair has come loose from it's spun and it's just kind of like plastered on me.
I think Ali is standing in front of you, and to your eyes, he is kind of translucent, and you see right through him to whatever that creature that's raising itself out of the water is.
Hmm.
And he's just looking at you with his eyes like, you know, are they the same thing? You're not sure, but...
Hmm.
So why don't you act under pressure here to keep your steady hand on the tiller?
Cool. And am I still rolling with what was it?
Beyond, I think you're gonna go back to balance, but take +1 on the roll.
Okay, sounds good. Ooh. 5, that's a 6.
Fantastic. Oren, what are you doing to disrupt the spell that caused Olivia so much trouble just now?
I am invading her mind, and I am giving her nightmares of failure, and I'm doing everything within my power to um, like force her to direct the ship in the way that I want it to go.
That is straight up intimidate another, I think. Yeah. Yeah, roll it as written. Roll it with Ron. Let's see what happens.
6.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Are you back in human form, or are you still ethereal?
No, I'm still ethereal. I'm probably trying to just enter her mind and be her
Cool.
mind.
This is what I see is happening. You guys are both on the quarterdeck. Olivia has one hand on the wheel. You're floating in front of her. And you're both just kind of locked now. You're like both locked into each other because as soon as you invaded her mind, Ali opened his mind to yours, and you are not expecting the tenants he currently has residing there. He has been taken by the old powers of the waves, and they are running their power through him. Not, all the way, because that would kill him instantly. But just having even that fraction of their power is sustaining Olivia and putting you guys in a pretty fair three-way standoff here. Awesome. I think it's back to you, Cap. Your crew is doing a good job. You're watching Carlito beat the hell out of people. It's entertaining.
Yeah, I think I'm in the fight. I think I'm like trying to subdue crew members when I look over and see this like fucking mind battle that's starting to happen. And I think Oren's not corporeal, but like I'm empowered by my god, I guess, maybe. I'm gonna try and attack him. See what happens.
Okay, so I gotta think, is this in your capabilities?
I've got a sword.
Can I interject something?
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that when we went into that dark part, we're actually kind of in between worlds, right? So we're actually kind of crossing into my domain, like my world. And I wonder if that might give them
some partial corporality.
Yeah, some ability to actually act on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what I think we should do. Let's give. Okay, so Oren, you can be harmed by physical weapons, but let's give you armor 1. So
you know what? I mean, for right now, like this isn't me doing all of the work of this thing, so let's just call it like a help roll. Like I'm going to physically attack him.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. That's actually.
Right? And then they can take a +1 forward or whatever. I rolled a 10.
All right, cool. So you're giving Olivia a +1.
I'm giving her a +2.
Oh, right, to do stuff. That is excellent.
Yeah, and so I think the way that looks is I come roaring across the deck with the St. Elmo's fire glowing around my neck, looking like a wild barbarian pirate queen, and fling myself and the sword directly at him, and like cut him or distract him enough that like y'all can do your thing.
Sorry, World War Cat was starting behind me. Yeah, well, that's going on. Cool. So before we get back to the three-way standoff, Carlito, you're on the deck. You're kicking butt. Everything's going great. You're 10-0. You convinced like 3 people to get their ass up into the mast and set sail. When a tentacle wraps around your waist and starts to pull you off the deck.
Oh dear. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna roll under fire or under pressure, whatever it is here, and yeah, this isn't gonna be terrible.
No, it's gonna be fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, okay. That's a 10. Nice.
Would you care for me to paint this in an extra metal way?
Please do. Yes.
All right. So this tentacle wraps around you. It's crushingly powerful. I think you should probably take a harm just from being squeezed by it.
That's fair.
It's yanking you up in the air, and all looks lost. But then we see your harpoon sail out of your hand and slam into the shattered foremast. And so you've got this thing wrapped around your arms.
Ah, yes.
This thing is trying to pull you off the deck, and you're kind of just poised like that, and people are screaming around you. We'll get back to that in just a second. Okay, Olivia, what are you going to do?
Can I just say that this is not the direction that I thought this session was going to go at the beginning of it? Okay, so meanwhile, on the mind battlefield, I don't even know. Because I think my goal is to sustain this spell, and it doesn't like, and to withstand whatever attacks are being slung at me, but I don't know if I would be able to. I'm thinking about it fictionally. Like, I don't think Olivia would really be able to do anything else aside from that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Can I
Go
tell
ahead.
you? I just want to tell Agatha a story. When I was in first grade, I was on the one and only soccer team, and this is the one and only game that I was allowed to play in. And I'm 6'4", and I think I've always been 6'4". So on this like first grader level, I had my opportunity to make a goal, and I started like dribbling the ball, and I nailed it, and the ball went, it hit the post and bounced off the other way, just in the wrong direction. Later on, my coach spoke to my family and said, yeah, he can't be on the team anymore because he can't do what he did. So basically what happened was I blacked out. I don't remember this at all, but I was running towards the goal. I was shoving people aside. I was like just throwing people aside. I was going for my goal. I don't know if that helps you.
So what you're saying is, instead of just steering this ship with the wind whipping her hair around, instead Olivia is actually shoving people aside, perhaps ripping their throats out with her bare hands. Is that what you're implying?
I mean,
yeah.
That's one way to kind of solve the to cut the Gordian knot, is like, I cannot beat you with my mind, therefore I will try and strangle you to death.
My mind is definitely supposed to be stronger than anything else. I think what could be interesting is I could be having a metaphysical moment, a spiritual moment perhaps, and I think I actually want to not open my brain. What is it called? Sense what's beyond.
Okay, this is a good place for it. It's like right next door.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's like the trolley of the imagination can come through here. It's like we're real close to the land of make-believe, folks.
Yeah, I think this is the closest that I've ever come. I guess most people would ever come to this kind of experience. Ooh, okay. Well, I rolled a 3. Plus 2 is 5. I don't know if I can.
What's your beyond is 2, right?
Yeah. So plus 2 is 5.
Plus another 2 is 7 because the
cat. Snap! That was close.
That was close.
Wow, just barely made it. Thanks, Cap.
So you're trying to save the ship, huh? I mean, that is your goal, right?
Yes.
Okay, because there are other ways to save people. Like it could have all just be taken down to the bottom of the ocean,
but I'm staying true to the Pembleton, to the Pembleton values, and some would call it a weakness, and call it greed. But
cool. So the ship is still pitching horribly. Waves are like crashing. I mean, all this fighting and stuff that was going on. You also have to picture like it's like going in waves where everybody stops for a minute and grabs something while a wave crashes into the ship, and then they start trying to bash each other's heads in.
Mm.
So a wave smashes into you just at this moment while the captain is trying to attack Oren. And it's water, and it gets all through your lips and your sinuses, and you're coughing. And suddenly you realize that you've been given the greatest of all possible gifts that the old ones could have given you this day. That here in this place where the veil between the worlds is so thin, you have been given a chance to be embraced again.
Oh, snap.
Cool.
Great.
I really think that we've left poor Carlito literally hanging long enough. So, Cap, I think you can definitely see, hear everybody shriek behind you and turn around and see your first harpooner being literally dragged off the boat.
I wanted to try a badass move, but first I'm
Go.
gonna roll
no.
and see what happens, and then I will. If it goes well, I'll dictate what it looks like. It might look totally bonkers. So.
What is the move you're trying? What is the move you're calling here?
I'm using act with force.
Okay.
And I just rolled a 12. So I want to picture. You can tell me if this is too much. That I am like, I decide I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with this. I got pulled by the beast, but I have control. I have control of my harpoon. It brings me towards itself, and I stab it.
So you pull the harpoon free, turn around, and stab the critter.
Yeah, as it's bringing me to its face.
Okie dokie. There will be there may be some narrative consequences. We'll get into that.
Yeah, of course.
Oh God! So I'm picturing you as you're being dragged. You're like struggling. You pull out a penknife to snap the harpoon line, and then turn and okay, wow. So which 3 are you gonna take there?
Yeah. Inflict terrible harm for sure. Yep. I want to open. There we go. Take definite hold of it or the situation. And I should probably suffer a little harm. Yeah.
Cool, but so you're not going to impress, dismay, or frighten your opponent.
Oh no! Actually, I should do that instead. And, yeah. Sure.
So you're going to risk the harm. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna risk the harm. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you throw this right into its face. If you want to see exactly where it hits, I urge you to order the enhanced collection, which is great. It shrieks and howls, and you heard it when the cable unwraps, which is great. It's awesome. It's not trying to choke you to death, and you plummet right into the waves.
Yeah.
So take a harm from that, and you're also overboard, and we'll just see how that goes for you. You may get embraced yet, my friend. You may get embraced yet. Okie dokie. So Oren, what are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to hold the ship steady through Olivia's mind. So, we're diverging courses. Can I try to? Okay, so Olivia, because she's a Pembleton, she has. What does it mean to be embraced? What does that mean?
To be embraced, everyone goes through the embrace if you're a part of the Pembleton family, and it's just a ritual where a child of a certain age would get thrown to the sea, and then if they come back alive, then they have been accepted by the sea, and they're officially of the salt.
Okay.
Sometimes they're turned into an old one, perhaps. No one knows exactly how that works, but most of the time they are merely of the salt, like Olivia is.
Okay. Then that means you would be a really good person to possess, and maybe I would want to possess you.
Sure.
Huh. I think that's manipulate. And that's how it starts, right? Just little subtle, insidious asks to do stuff.
All right.
But, well, yeah. Yeah, your beauty and your beyond are the same, so. You're very persuasive.
9.
Cool. 7 through 9. Either they get a +1 to their next roll, or if they refuse, they are acting under pressure. You get to choose one of those.
Well, I know she's not going to accept it, so she has to act under pressure.
Fantastic. Let's stick a thing in that. Cap, what are you doing?
I think once I like distracted him, I'm turning back to my crew and sort of helping them to subdue the crew members that are still like wild and out of control.
Did you see Carlito go overboard?
Yeah, I should probably go after him, shouldn't I?
Up to you. I mean, just ask if you saw.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm torn between trying to pull the crew together and trying to save Carlito now. Honestly, my whole like let me confront my gods thing. This sounds like it'll be fine. I'm gonna go after Carlito. I'm gonna jump into the ocean. It's gonna go super well. I'm really into it. I am dedicated to this plan.
That's fun. Why don't you act under pressure here?
Acting under pressure. So I roll a 7, 8, 9.
Okay, cool.
So it'll suck a little. Join the pool party. Will do, Eli.
Pool party.
He's pretty far down. So if you rescue him, you will take a harm.
That's
okay, cool. So it's one of those scenes, where we just see him drifting down, and then suddenly the hand comes down.
Yep.
While you're down there, the creature goes back beneath the water.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal: when it arched itself over the ship, it was in the air, and gravity was pulling it down and everything, and it was ugly as sin. But in the water, with the water supporting its weight, and when it opens up its huge ruff of rainbow-colored fins, it's eerily beautiful.
Yeah, I think as I'm reaching out to grab Eli, it's like you see if there's a fucking video of this. It's like me as a little rocket going down to Eli, or down to
Carlito.
Carlito, thank you. Sorry. And I grab your hand, and as I do, out of the darkness, sort of behind both of us, comes this beautiful creature, and I stop and am kind of stunned and overwhelmed, and a little moved, but also running out of air. So I stop for probably longer than I should, but then I sort of yank you towards the surface. Sort of reluctantly, glancing back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you two flop up on the deck, and you see Bill standing there holding a pike, just ship's back under command, Captain. I think nobody can get near the helm.
I drop Carlito and say, I'll take care of that, and then get up. I'm just going to solve all the problems.
All right, so Olivia, what are you going to do? You have to act under pressure to do anything first.
Yeah, I will do that.
All right.
Yeah, yes. Oh, it was a 7. All right.
Cool. Very ugly choice. Okay. All right, so you resist the possession for now. You're still holding the tiller. And Ali looks up at you.
Hmm.
And he sort of gives you that little weird half smile. Says, "Don't worry, daughter. I can help." And then he leaps up and, unbelievably enough, wraps his arms around Oren.
Oh.
There's a sparking discharge. There's like sparks shooting off of the poor kid. He starts to bleed from places, but he's got a firm hold on Oren. So, on that note, Oren, what are you gonna do?
I am going to I clearly know what Ollie is now, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and clearly they've decided to up their game.
Yeah. I am going to cast this what are they called? Old one, deep one?
Yeah.
What are they?
It's
Yeah,
undetermined exactly what he is.
This creature, I'm going to toss this creature aside into the ocean.
That sounds like acting with force.
That is brawn, right?
Yes, it is.
Hold on a second. Okay. It wouldn't be acting under pressure. No, it's definitely okay. Nine.
Okay, cool. You choose you take definite hold of the situation, you suffer little harm, you inflict terrible harm, or you impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy.
Where I'm looking at the wrong one. I take hold of the situation, and I impress, dismay, or frighten the enemy.
Okay, cool. You lift off the deck and plunge into the waves. That impresses and dismays everybody since they see the poor kid get dragged off the deck.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So my success from my roll before was that I realized that I could be embraced again. But what I was asking, right. I guess I was asking about how to like just make sure that this goes through. Is that the answer? Is that I should be embraced?
Certainly, if you were embraced, you'd be closer to the powers, wouldn't you?
I see.
And Ali just got chucked overboard, so...
Yeah, that's the decision that I would make to make sure that this ship is carried through the tear into that spot of light.
Well, the captain's standing right here, so she can take the helm.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah.
You dive?
I turn around to you. And I nod at you, Captain.
Okay.
And then I will also dive.
All right.
Off the ship.
Cool.
Jesus, what do I have you roll here?
I don't know. Act with force to take hold of something? Or acting under pressure?
I think this is act under force, yeah. And then we'll see where this goes.
Acting with force?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll 7.
Oh.
Roll 7. Oh, was that for me or was that for?
Yeah, I wasn't sure who was first.
That's for Olivia to roll.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay, about grabbing the helm. I was like, okay, cool, do it.
No, you can just grab the helm.
Great.
All right. Hold on, sorry. Okay, that's a 9.
Cool. You get to choose 2. Definite hold, little harm, inflict terrible harm, or impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy.
I don't know if I want to do harm, because what I wanted to do
Sure.
was, yeah.
So take hold and impress then, maybe?
Sure. Yeah.
And if that sounds right to you.
Yeah, I would like to take definite hold of the ship.
Okay. And also Ali. You grab Ali by the ankle and yank him free, and you impress dismay. Okay, Oren, so this is what's happening. The ship is now getting close enough to the edge of the storm that the veil is getting harder again. So you see your companions are beginning to leave and head back into the storm. What are you going to do?
Okay. So, cannot fail.
Oh no.
I haven't suffered any harm throughout all of this. Well, I suffered one thing.
Yes.
I am going to take a new form. I'm going to go back onto the ship and take a new form as like a rat.
Okay.
And bide my time.
This seems an excellent plan. Okay. Olivia, you are hovering in the water with Ali. You are on the edge of drowning.
Mm-hmm.
You're being embraced, perhaps. I mean, all you have to do is wait a little while.
Yeah, and
So,
I think that's what I do.
Okay.
Maybe I think actually I would like to look at Ali and see if he is drowning.
I mean, Ali is kind of messed up from, traversing dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
That sure sounds like what you're actually doing is looking beyond.
Oh, I guess so. That makes sense.
I mean, for the situation, it does.
5, 6, 7. Okay, just barely made it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna follow the fiction on this a little bit. You look at Ali, and he looks at you, and you feel the shrieking of the oxygen, in your lungs. And he opens his eyes, and 2 deep ones come swimming up next to you, and they hold out their hands to you.
I reach out my hand. I reach out my right hand towards the deep ones, and then I take Ellie's hand in my left.
I think that's probably the last we see of you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. So Carlito is nearly dead. You have no surgeon. The ship is battered, but you slide through that one small gap in the dark clouds, and suddenly it's like the storm just turns off as soon as you make that transition, and you have a good breeze, and the sea is not too high, and a day later, you figure out that your chronometers have stopped, which is a huge freaking problem. But you're able to do a sun sight, and you realize that somehow you have turned north. And a few days later, you raise another whaler who tells you where you are. You have in fact rounded the Cape Horn, and are currently cruising up to the west of Chile. I think that is where we can leave the good bark Tethys on the first leg of its journey. You're pretty messed up, but things are going. So wow, I have never tried to do one of these things where we're gonna keep going. So for those of you who are departing, I had so much fun having you on board the ship. For you who are returning, it'll be good, and we'll have Scott next time too. And it should be a lot of horrible fun. And I really enjoyed hanging with you guys as always. So let me get this up. And otherwise, I'll just drop that in the room in a second, and I will see you all soon and around and on the gauntlet and stuff. So
Yeah.
great. Thank you all. Have a good night.